Welcome back, everybody. Today we are testing the Roto Grip Rubicon UC3. If you like what we do, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and check us out on Patreon. First impressions, the UC3 is somewhat confounding, but the more I evaluate, the more it lands on the positive side. Alright, where do I begin? We now know the Rubicon and UC2 Pearl version. I'm gonna say I'm never gonna jump out of my shoes about a urethane, for my personal game, but we're here to understand the Rubicon UC3 for as many people as possible, and it might even surprise me. Immediately, you don't get the sense this is urethane. In fact, in the first few throws, I would say the Idol Helios looked more urethane-like than the UC3. Before I threw it on this house shot for the test, I actually threw it on a 43-foot Earl Anthony pattern. It simply didn't look like a urethane ball at all. It didn't read at my feet. It had some kind of ridiculous amount of continuation I rarely see from urethane. I thought, maybe that's the fresh cover from urethane. But I did try it on the same pattern after about 6 games with the on the house shot, and it did look calmer, but this time still, misses out came back, and misses in had that really good forgiveness, and I would say that was an eye-opener. Anyway, onto the test here, and you can see that playing close to the friction, this ball looked really good. The nice thing is that it had bounce on the misses out. I mean, that was definitely noticeable, and not a urethane-like characteristic at all, really. It looked great from there. Then, as I moved in a touch, I was reminded swiftly what happens when I try to ask more of a urethane ball. 7-pin city. And the walled shot was saying to me, stay really tight to the friction and you'll kill it. Move in away from the friction and you're asking for a 9 count every time. Honestly though, the big takeaway is it doesn't really behave like urethane, ultimately, big picture. Most urethane, when you get too deep, just pukes. You tend to kind of leave that look of buckets, roll out type of thing. This one really left me 9 counts, and even when I got way deeper than I would ever bother dreaming with a urethane type ball, it at least made it back to the pocket, and with more of a reactive type angle. And finally, this is where I'm confounded. Where do I put a ball like the Rubicon UC3 in the bag? It's not a traditional urethane at all, so it won't be a pitch black or an ideal spare ball per se. If I had to place it, it's probably right on top of the mid-control spot in the bag. But do I want to ditch a standard reactive ball from there for the UC3? I'm not sure, but what I can say is the fact that I'm considering it in that space is saying a lot about this ball. Alright, so as usual, I do test two-handed as well, and honestly, this is the first ball I felt it's like a dream ball for my two-handed game. I've tested other urethane balls, and they just weren't it. I mean, ref dominance kind of makes early balls die. And this ball hid my sort of big variations in release, and everything funneled to the pocket, no drama. Miss out, cool, it's good. Miss in, and it holds better than most pieces. It almost felt as close to a no-brainer mid-control ball from my two-hand game as any ball I can remember. Final thoughts. At this stage, I feel like I've said all I want to say about the Rubicon UC3. I feel like the video is a good representation of what it's capable of. I'm not sure if it'll slot in my bag yet, but I'm sure glad I had it to bowl my Sport Shot League. This is going to be a fun ball for a lot of people, even if it confuses you where it's supposed to go in the bag.